welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep into My Hero Academia. And this is a sad chapter. We finally get to see the aftermath of the war that took place between the heroes and the villains. I'm pretty sure that no one actually believed that there wouldn't be any deaths. This is My Hero Academia and Horikoshi ain't playing around. Twice's death for the villains somewhat highlighted the level of danger posed to both sides in this epic battle. The theme of this war thrown at us was more akin to a portrayal of reality. However, without all the exaggerations and superpower and shit, but the deep-rooted issues in society were finally brought forth using what humans usually tend to rely on. And no, I'm not talking about intelligence and dialogue, but brute force. And at the end of the day, just like most wars, all that was left was broken buildings, injured bodies, and deaths. So in this video, I'm going to go over pretty much every single hero death that was sacrificed, along with giving some updates on the other characters. But before we get into the video, like always, here's a quick reminder to check out our merch store. 10% Xmas discount is still on until the end of the month, so what are you guys waiting for? Get yourself a shirt, hoodie, or even a mask. Like, look how sexy these guys are looking. Okay, so the chapter opens up with the destruction of the city. Everyone who's still alive runs to the front line, trying to stop Shigaraki from escaping, like Pixie Bob, Washing Machine, President Mike, and 13. However, as we expected, they weren't able to stop him due to the high-end Nomus getting in their way. Although the heroes were able to defeat about 3 of the high-end Nomus, but Shigaraki and the other 7 were able to get away. But moving back at the Gunga Mountain Resort, Destro is seen defeated by Edgeshot. Genten, who is seen lying on the floor with some crystals stabbed into him, was defeated by Cementos. Trumpet and the other members of the Liberation Front was arrested. In fact, up to 16,929 people ended up being arrested. Only 132 members of the Liberation Front were able to escape from the resort. And the other branches of the PLF that was spread across the country with their supporters were overpowered. We then see the destruction to the city before we jump to the police running through the debris of the city. They learned that Toga was seen escaping through their area, which confirms that she did get away and will probably make it back to Derby, Shigaraki, and Spinner, which still kind of gives our prediction that Himiko Toga will be using Twice's quirk later on in the series to still happen. But as we come back to the chapter, one of the officers questions that why she gotta show up at a time like this as we see the city completely destroyed. The buildings aren't even standing up straight, and there's a random car crashed into a roof of a building. Hell, some of the buildings don't even have roofs anymore. And there's fire, lots of fire. We then see people screaming for help and panicking. From all this despair, sadly there's a little boy under some rubble from a destroyed building with his little sister trying to pull him out. But the brother, being the elder one, tries to tell her to get away, just run away, because he knows that the building above them is going to fall. This boy is fully prepared to die. He tells his sister that after he's crushed to death, he wants her to have his Endeavour pouch. But she's like, I don't want your dirty ass pouch, I want you to remain as my Nissan. And right as the building rubble starts to fall upon their heads, homegirl Uraraka and Froppy comes in clutch to save the day. Honestly, that was a close call, and these two actually make a good team. They didn't try to ask the kids where are their parents, but the kids are too busy crying. More likely they became orphans from this war. The Dio then see that the boy's leg is hurt and they need to get him to a shelter real quick. But from all of this, there are still so many people that needs help. Uraraka, being on her A game, ain't giving up and she wants to save everyone. There's a man that calls her out saying that his wife is inside one of those broken ass buildings, which Uraraka goes in to save her as fast as she can. But moving on across the panels, we truly begin to see the aftermath of the war between the heroes and villains, with people stuck under rubbles, broken bones, as the support heroes scour the desolated city for survivors with stretchers on the ready. Uraraka along the way uses her quirk to levitate a concrete chunk that entrapped a civilian as she gives her hand for support and comforts him by telling him it's all daijoubu, when it's really not. Meanwhile, in the background, we see the heroes scrambling as people cry out for their help. Whilst Uraraka finishes assisting the civilian out of the rubble, she hears a voice behind her saying, "I'm done," causing her to look back where she notices it was a fellow hero, looking absolutely defeated as he continues to say that this was all a big mistake, referring to the whole operation to take down Shiggy and the League of Villains, as he looks over the destruction and chaos caused by their bout with the villains, with people crying and begging to be saved, ending his somber statement that maybe he should start looking for a new job. Clearly this dude is feeling unfit for the role and repercussion of being a hero. Like, get out of here, man.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Nah, but for reals though, I can't even imagine being in this situation. Any normal human being would break. Following this panel though, we move towards the forest, where we see a shot of an unknown cuffed hand being held by someone. The next page, we see Momo, Kirishima, Mina and Sato bawling their eyes out for someone. Then without further explanation, we see a damaged pair of the thingy-majig, whatever you call it, the eyeglasses or face mask or just glasses, which belong to the hero and their sensei Midnight, indicating one thing, that she is dead, which is confirmed in the next page along with the many other heroes that accompanied her. Please guys, put an F in the chat for all these great heroes. Damn Midnight, you'll be missed. I know that some of you guys were simping for her from the get-go, but now she's gone. What are we gonna do, guys? What? Wait a minute, we still have Floppy, right? Okay, seriously guys, let's run through the aftermath of this war and go over what happened to our heroes. From the list, we can see the confirmed deaths. Midnight being a major death seems acceptable to me. She was, after all, smashed by rubbles, had a big fall which would have killed anyone to be honest, and then somehow still faced off against a group of liberation soldiers, where she finally met her end in chapter 278. It's really sad that she was killed like that, but her death will 100% ignite her students to become stronger and play a huge part in their training in the following arc to come. Next we see is Exless, who died in chapter 273. While he destroyed more than half of the Quirk destroying bullets, he was the first victim of the newly evolved Shigaraki. Man's even got violated after death, having his cape nabbed by Shigaraki himself. Crust also bit the dust. Man literally was disintegrated by Shigaraki's decay as he sacrificed himself, saving Aizawa sensei. Next on the list was Majestic, who died saving the kids against Gigantomachia back in chapter 283. Then we have quite a few other heroes who were also confirmed to be dead, from native to 14 other side heroes, giving a total number of 19 dead pro heroes that are confirmed. Now there could be more later on, and let's not forget the injured. Yes guys, the injured. Hawks, who was pretty much cooked alive by Darby, is left unconscious with severe burns on his body. His wings and back also looks cremated. Let's be fair, there's a chance he will lose his Quirk. Edgeshot, even though he defeated Registro, also has serious injuries, especially on his left arm, which might also take him out of commission. Mountain Lady seems to be alive, but let's not forget she was manhandled by Gigantomachia, who dragged her for miles. Then she also got burnt by Darby, and then finally bodied. She probably needed to call it quits after that too. Kamui Woods also suffered serious injuries as he was charred by Darby's flames. 13 also left his battle injured as she now only has one arm. Yes, her left arm is gone. Cementos, well, he's just left unconscious after being impaled. I'm pretty sure he'll be okay. You know, he's pretty sturdy. I don't even know what happened to Gang Orca and Fat Gum, but they ain't on the death list, so I think they should be okay. But Midako, Homegirl Thickums, also had it pretty bad though. Her organs ripped apart along with her stomach and ears. Her face got cut up and mutilated as she also lost an arm. Ryukyu somehow survived this too, after her dragon ass hands was pierced by Shigaraki and then crushed by Deku's Wyoming smash. But coming to our OG, Aizawa is left unconscious after part of his face was torn off. He also lost his left leg and right eye in this battle. However, like we predicted, he didn't die because Aizawa will play in an important role for the students going forward. Likewise, he still has to finish Aries training, but I can't say the same for Gran Torino. My initial prediction was that he will die in this war. However, still somehow alive, although barely, as he's sitting between life and death. Our GG got rinsed out by Shigaraki and received a near fatal blow to his stomach. This reminded me of Night Eye's injury, where like him we might see a late death in the hospital. Or maybe Gran Torino might manage to survive with the help of Eri or some other means, but who knows. Endeavour and Best Genius also survived this battle, although Endeavour will probably drop out from being #1 hero because not only did he receive a punctured lung, overheated his body, burning it in the process, Endeavour was also psychologically destroyed. Like, imagine seeing your son who you thought was burnt alive come back as a villain. Like, what the frick? And coming to Best Genius, who might continue to remain as a pro hero, but after coming into this fight with an injury, it's apparent he wasn't 100% healed. Man was bleeding through his nose more than any old pervy sensei could. When it comes down to the students though, I'm pretty sure all of them survived. A lot of them are heavily injured, but the biggest damage might have been to their minds, especially with Shoto seeing his brother along with Momo, Mina and Kirishima. And then we have Bakugo and Deku, who both are very susceptible to feeling responsible for everything around them. Alright, coming back to the chapter, we are told that Shigaraki had indeed died and that the device that was meant to restore his life was actually destroyed as well. Not even the electric shock flowing through the waters around them would have been enough to jumpstart his heart, as even the hero X-less didn't feel a tingle. Rather, it was none other than his dream and hatred and tenacity that brought Shigaraki back to life. Yes guys, Shigaraki's own tenacity actually led to the loss of many lives, including the pro heroes. But fast forwarding a bit, elsewhere in another city, civilians are living their normal lives, going through the daily routine, checking the news, but one thing stood out to be the talk of the town: the whole Endeavour Derby debacle. Yes, as the everyday people wonder how and what Endeavour is gonna do now, questioning the validity of Derby's revelation as if it were true. It would spell big issues for the #1 hero. Doubts start festering into the people's minds on Endeavour's integrity as a hero, some stating they always thought he was dodgy and questions his capability of protecting and saving the people. This is leading some people to consider even migrating overseas, even though they are broke and can't even afford that option. So despite the income, they demand the heroes should explain themselves tomorrow. But seeing the faces and condition of Deku, Endeavour and all the heroes, I doubt anyone is ready to give any sort of statement. So all of this pushes the notion that Endeavour will have to step down from the #1 hero spot. We then see two kids probably on their way to school as one asks the other whether or not they will be okay, which the other kid replies, Dajabu, that's what 5 Weenie told us after all. And then later the same evening, we switch locations to the facility where All For One is being held, still locked up. His thoughts begin to brew, stating, I can feel it. It was slightly outside my expectation, but soon enough, referring to the early awakening of Shigaraki as an anomaly to his plan. All For One continues to reveal that do they think there would be a tomorrow to rest? From here on out, it's still his turn. He says, now my normals who knows nothing of fatigue, go free my main body. As these words escape through Shigaraki's mouth, once again the idea of All For One always planning to take over Shigaraki's body is confirmed. This was covered by us in our earlier videos, which is in our My Hero Academia playlist, link down below, so make sure to check it out. But we made this prediction based on All For One's character, along with the way All For One and One For All Quirk works. But if you guys want a detailed explanation of Shigaraki being taken over by All For One, then make sure to check out our video about how My Hero Academia will end. But overall, this war was a huge milestone between the My Hero Academia series. One of my favorites, top 10 war moments for sure, although I wouldn't say it's comparable to Marineford in One Piece, but actually this didn't even come close to that. But I ain't going to go over any gripes right now, and like always, I want to thank our ABD community for all your continuous support throughout the year. 2020 wasn't the best, a bit depressing to be honest, but all of you guys made it entertaining with your comments and interactions. Without you guys and your balls deep energy, we wouldn't have come this far. Yes, you guys literally powered up our balls deep prediction where it all came true. So guys, please continue to support us in the coming year. Smash the like button, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and till then, we'll catch you guys till next time.